One step forward, back step, back step, two, back step. I mean, look at this. This is unreal, right? From one old greasy engine to this condition, I find it hard to believe, but it's just sitting right in front of me. I can look at this all day long. It's just beautiful. It looks so factory original, and this is exactly what we're going after. All this time, I always loved billet stuff. I mean, I still love billet stuff, but someday when I think about it, the justification, having billet versus the original factory look. Billet is good to a certain extent, but at the end of the day, billet is a lot heavier than the original components. That's what my finding, and that's what I discovered. Plus, also billet don't necessarily gives you the performance benefit other than it being stronger. At the end of the day, it's still a beautiful material. It still looks good, but then again, I love this just as much as anything else. I'm not going to put any billet on this engine. Originally, I thought of having a billet plenum runner and also the cam cover, but now looking at what Cairo has built and cleaned up the whole engine, really it's not necessary anymore, you know. To me, this is beautiful. This is good enough. What Cairo did was strip down the whole car, clean the entire engine from the inside out. Other than that, we replaced all the gaskets, most of the screw as well, bearings, timing belt, whatever we can replace is all new. Cleaning process is all done, engine build is all done, so the next step is to have the engine and the gearbox into the chassis. Finally, we managed to marry this couple together. As you can see, it's all now a complete engine and the gearbox. So there you have it, 3UZ paired with a Tremec 5-speed gearbox. So the next step is to move this engine onto the GT86 chassis. Okay, we finally managed to move the GT86 over from my place to a French shop just a couple minutes away, and that's where the new engine and the gearbox is going to go into it. Next, we need to fabricate the engine mount, the gearbox mount, and the rest of all the plumbing system, the radiator. A lot of things needs to be done from this point, so stay tuned. We are now in the next phase. Currently, we're at another workshop, which is Mia Exhaust. A good friend of mine, he has been fabricating a lot of my drift cars and whatnot. So what we're going to do here on the next phase is the engine transplant. As you can see, the 3UZ is already in place. Let me quickly run through with you the process In order for us to get the engine in here, we need to align the engine, make sure that they are in the right position. So it looks easy, but there's actually a lot of small little detail that you don't get to see. So to do that, after we align the engine, we then mark the position for the engine mount. What is going to specially fabricate the engine mount for this particular engine, because we can't just go out there and buy an engine mount. After he secure and fabricate the engine mount, next is to do the gearbox mount as well. As you can see now, the engine is sitting a lot forward. The reason is because the gearbox is way too big for the actual housing down there. So to clear that, we need to move the engine slightly forward and also lower the subframe by about approximately an inch in order for us to accommodate the engine in the perfect position for us. This is the original oil funnel, and Watt has custom built a shorter version to replace it, because the original funnel is just way too tall and it just looks ugly. And on top of that, we also delete the original nose cut. Watt customized a stainless steel nose cut for me to lighten up the car, and it looks a lot neater as well. Over here you can see this is a special custom radiator adapter fabricated by Watt, which will route the entire radiator hose all the way towards the end. Come with me and show you the rear end. The radiator is now located at the rear. A lot of thought has been put onto it. Watt also cut out the rear end here, this section, to extract all the smoke and the hot air to exit from the rear end. In front of the radiator, you can see there's a custom plate which is made of aluminum. This is where we're going to locate our fuel surge tank. This is what my fuel surge tank looks like. Really, really nice. Fully custom fabricated by Mia Exhaust. I just love it. Look at the finishing. Beautiful. Of course, we're gonna have a external powerful fuel pump as well. The reason why we're installing a fuel surge tank is to prevent fuel surge, basically. One step forward, back step. Back step. One step forward, two step back. As you all know, we already mounted the engine. And after we put it on the corner weight, and we discovered that the weight distribution for this car is out of the margin, basically, by quite a bit, and which we knew from day one. And the reason why we did that is because we were trying to avoid cutting the gearbox tunnel. And simply because we do not have enough time to build this car, we just want to get the engine in with minimum cutting and modification. However, after placing the engine, we realized it's not going to work. So therefore, it's better get it fixed now than later. So we decided now to repositioning the engine again. This means we now have to cut the gearbox tunnel, and also not only that, we have to fabricate a new engine mount and the gearbox mount as well. On top of that, we also need to fabricate a new oil sump, as the current oil sump will no longer be usable with this current position. So now looking at it, it looks a lot better. The engine now has already been repositioned. So now what need to do is to tidy up the rest, and it is what it is. No one has done this before in Malaysia. So this is the first 3UZ transplant onto a GT86. So a lot of try and error, but this time around, we're very confident it's gonna work.